And then I was very fortunate to be nominated by my peers to testify in front of Congress on behalf of NAPBS. So that was a personal high. That was a great coup for NAPBS. It was the first, and to date, the only time that we've actually been asked to sit at the table at a hearing. And then the last one that was very special, and it's all about the power of a constituent. I remember being on a call for government relations when someone said, well, who's in the southeast section of Massachusetts in District 4, I think it is. So I, virtually raised my hand and I said, oh, that's me. So it was when the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was being proposed, the Dodd-Frank bill that came to pass, and Barney Frank was our representative. So the owner of Creative Services and myself met with him one very hot morning in August up in his offices and talked to him about what our concerns were with the agency and dual regulators and the kinds of things that we saw would be problematic with it. He agreed with us. He gave us someone to talk to in D.C. He asked for draft language, which we had with us and gave to him to insert into the bill, and we were actually taken out of the bill for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In the middle of all that, midstream, we were all of a sudden back in the bill. So I was to do the Nikita Khrushchev, for anybody that remembers that he pounded his shoe on the desk way back in the day, but to call Frank's office and say what happened. I thought we had an understanding. I want to meet with you. They were going to mark up on the following Tuesday. This was either a Thursday, I think this was a Thursday night. And I said, I want to speak with you. I would meet with you. If we can't talk to you before, I'll come to Washington on Monday because this is going to mark up. He actually called the offices that weekend. He left his home phone number and he said, I remember what we talked about. I remember everything about our meetings. Here's my home phone number. Let's talk about this. And he gave us a staffer again, and we worked with that staffer, and we were taken out of the bill again. So the consumer reporting agencies are out of a lot of what the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is about. So those are some of the highlights, and that's my passion.
I want to go back a step, though. I want to talk about testifying in front of Congress. What was that about?
So that was, what you see when you, look at congressional hearings. You have your congressmen are sitting up on the dais. It was a Representative Cohen bill, representative out of Tennessee, who then had the floor, and he was able to talk about his bill and eliminating the use of credit or really restricting the use of credit in background screening. Then there were 8 of us that sat, and each one of us testified. So they have lights. They have a green light and a red light, and when the green light goes, you have 5 minutes. And so I spent a full day in the offices with Montserrat Miller and with the help of John Burton because of their experience, getting educated on what to look for and what to be careful about in testifying. We took what was our testimony that we then provided to the congressional subcommittee and pared it down to a 5-minute talk, and I kept doing that day and into the night and whatever, and the green light went, and I did what I did, and the red light came, and we stopped talking, and then there's Q&A.
Give me a 30-second synopsis of what you told them.
We just talked about, I think the big points were that it's not widely used, it's responsibly used, and that the responsibility for credit checks and the reason for credit checks is for really myriad, positions of financial responsibility, someone who is doing that kind of thing for a company. But we gave a lot of examples of, a referee who's reffing a game who might be bribed. I mean, it's just really a myriad of ways that you might want to use a credit report. And also a credit report is an investigative tool because you can take a look at someone's background from address information, job history. So it's a way to check a resume against what you find out in a credit report.
How long ago was that?
2010.
2010. So what was the outcome?
So it didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
And 2 years later, I went with Advocacy Day, and I was actually with a constituent of his and Montserrat Miller, and we went into the offices of Representative Cohen. We were supposed to meet with him because his bill came back. which is what happens. You know, the bills go away and then they come back. And so we were invited to speak with him that day, and there was a big issue going on in the Hill that day. And so we went in, and the staffer said, "You're not going to be able to meet with Representative Cohen, but I'd like to sit and talk to you about the issue." And then he came running through the office with a handful of candy for his staffers. I stuck my hand out and I said, "Oh, Representative Cohen, so nice to see you, and thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us today." And then his constituent said, "And I am so-and-so, and I live, you know, right in your neighborhood, in fact, in Tennessee." He invited us into his office. We sat in there with him for half an hour. I reminded him that I had testified 2 years before, really brought the things up again that were really relevant to the bill, and once again that bill didn't go anywhere, and now it's come back again with Representative Cohen and Senator Warren from the state of Massachusetts, which is where I work. So we'll see.
All right,
We'll
so
see how it
yeah,
goes.
we'll see.